I talked to Tony last night, and I'm going to visit for a few days, but he suggested that I move in with him.
Who is this guy? Who is Tony exactly? I still haven't met him.
For all I know, Tony could be a psycho. I could end up in his basement, trapped.
So is Tony really a psycho?
Yeah, I like this.
Relax. I just want to take some pictures.
Let's find out.
Awesome!
We are halfway through season 3 of This Single Life, and who knew it would be Debbie to end up officially in a relationship? Even after her glow up last season, she had bad luck with dating. But she seems to really be going strong with Tony, even though they've only spent a few days together in person.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good?
That's good. You look mighty sexy.
With Tony back in Canada, Debbie's trying to figure out her living situation.
Well, you know, I'm moving in with Audrey,
Yeah.
but she tells me I can't move in there now because I have cats, and she doesn't want the cats there.
She supposedly has to move out soon, and living with Colt is no longer an option. So what is it Debbie to do?
I mean, there is a solution. You're coming up here to visit. Why don't you think about moving up here permanently?
This would be a huge step, and not just for Debbie, but for her and Colt as well.
Really big step. I mean, I don't know that we can do that. It's just so much so quick.
The real question is if this was set up for the show, or if she really has to move out or not. The situation puts pressure on her to make a decision fast, and I can't tell if it's just for the storyline. It's really hard to believe that she won't be living with Colty anymore.
Colt and Vanessa are going to have their own place.
Yes.
You're not 20 years old anymore, and neither am I. What, you're going to drag it out for 4 or 5 years?
No.
Why?
Debbie is about to go visit Tony in Canada for the first time, and if she likes it, she can decide to move up there.
I want to think about all this.
Okay.
I wanna-
love you,
I love you too.
and I'll see you in a day or two.
Yeah.
I get that she is older, but they've only spent 3 whole days together, so I'm glad she is at least thinking it over and not just saying yes immediately.
If I moved to Canada, I'd be leaving everything I've ever known behind, especially my son.
She supposedly has not talked to Colt much since their fight, so she invites him over to talk about her living situation.
How you doing? Right now, my mother and I are kind of in this sticky situation of we don't really talk, and I don't particularly like that.
I really still don't think he moved out. His face is on the wall.
I talked to Tony last night, and I'm going to visit for a few days, but he suggested that I move in with him.
I just realized that Colt didn't actually meet Tony, but he really wasn't visiting for very long.
Who is this guy? Who is Tony exactly? I still haven't met
He
him.
treats me really good. I'm crazy about him. We're soulmates.
Okay.
Also, where is his wizard cloak?
You're kind of moving a little quickly, don't you think? I'm going from 0 to soulmate.
I'm not. But we have a connection. We have an instant connection.
Colt doesn't have a lot to say and changes the subject, which I mean, he can't really say much. Debbie is 70 years old, and if she wants to move in with a boyfriend she doesn't know well, it's her choice. I keep bringing up that Debbie doesn't know this guy well because her son Colt has done something similar. He only spent a few days with Larissa in person and then married her, and that relationship was a short disaster, and Debbie witnessed all of it. She was also there when Colt quickly moved on with Jess. He then cheated on Jess and jumped into a fast-paced relationship with Vanessa. Colt and Vanessa even got married fast, and that marriage has been a disaster too. The pattern is that Colt doesn't wait to get to know someone before jumping headfirst into the relationship. Even though Debbie has witnessed all of the consequences of Colt moving too fast, she is doing the exact same thing now. And no, we don't know yet if her relationship will end up like Colt's, but there's a chance that it could. Anyways.
Vanessa and I are going to travel for a bit.
Okay.
So I'd like to have Dad's ashes. So I want to give him all a good send-off. I don't think we need to hold on to them anymore.
Yeah.
Debbie is happy that Colt is spreading her late husband Harley's ashes.
And you okay with not being there?
I'm okay.
I'll take a video of it.
Okay.
And it seems like this meetup is actually going pretty well.
Here's a list for the cat while I'm in Canada.
I have lived with the cats all their lives. I'm not like a newbie here.
Don't give me that. Mother, I'm not a child.
But it doesn't last.
So I've never been emotionally there for you?
I feel like you've been absent.
Anytime their conversation goes where Debbie doesn't want it to, she can't handle it and leaves.
I'm done filming for today. I'm not doing it anymore.
At this point, I'm wondering if they will even talk anymore if she really does move up to Canada.
We're on our way to Canada. Gonna go see Tony. Yay!
Debbie lands, and this will be her second time ever seeing Tony in person.
Bye.
It seems like the chemistry is still there, but Debbie does seem to somewhat have her guard up.
Tony does not drive. He hates to drive. I rented a car because if he and I get in a fight or something, I can leave.
Also, I'm glad that she has a camera crew with her going out to Tony's house.
For all I know, Tony could be a psycho. I could end up in his basement, trapped. I don't know what I got myself into.
Debbie arrives, and the house is interesting.
Oh, there's a skeleton back there. This is your bedroom?
What?
It could be way worse. And at least his house doesn't come with a giant toddler.
You said I have a drawer and a cabinet.
Tony gave Debbie a dresser full of lingerie.
Tony's house is pretty creepy, but the fact that he set aside a drawer full of sexy lingerie, it shows that he's very sweet and thoughtful.
He wants her to feel comfortable and hopes that this trip will end with her deciding to move in. These two seem to really be into each other and act like horny teenagers, except they're old.
Oh, God, my legs hurt.
My back hurts.
Also, I'm going to skip this chocolate licking part. I can't watch it again. You're welcome. It's the next morning, and let's just say that they had a successful night.
Coming into this house last night, I was a little bit creeped out, but in broad daylight, it's not so bad. It's a little less creepy.
And later that day, Debbie goes to meet Tony's friends.
Finally, we meet! Oh my goodness, finally!
They seem to be really friendly and happy to meet Debbie.
How are you settling in at the house?
Tony is a little eccentric. You might have noticed.
Yes.
Him?
Debbie says that she doesn't have a problem with this house, but does say that she wants to feel comfortable there.
And if it works out the way we hope it does, I'll be moving back here in a couple weeks.
Wow.
His friends, like everyone else, are concerned about them moving so fast after only 4 days in person together. And I find it funny how Tony's friend describes Debbie.
She's a little bit all over the place, and Tony is more just a straight line. And so I do have concerns with that. It doesn't always work that opposites attract.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but what does she mean by Debbie is all over the place? I want to know.
Big Ed the Fly wants to remind you to subscribe to this channel.
You're my best view.
Pretty bold move you moving out here.
I think so too. Giving up my friends and family.
Yeah, that's a huge move. That's huge.
So the question is if Debbie is really willing to completely leave her life in Vegas behind.
We'll know in a few days.
Yes, we will.
And they are going to decide by the end of this trip.
I love this place. This place is just beautiful. This is my last night in Vancouver. I have to make this permanent decision if I want to move in with Tony or not.
And in the next episode, it looks like they are ready to make a decision.
Are you really willing to take a chance and move up to Canada and move in with me?
So will Debbie risk it all for a guy that she's only spent a few days with? We will have to wait until the next episode to find out. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!